So it would seem that it started from the inside of the structure. Investigators will be able to determine, you know.
There were no kitchen crews or anyone getting ready for the day, anything like that, prep work, anything in the building?
At 4:45 a.m. there was nobody here.
And you said employees left the night before at 9 a.m. or
PM, sir.
PM?
Yes, sir. 9 p.m. last night.
What's your message to the residents and also the people of Las Vegas who want to come up here and check it out? Like, what's your message to them, because you guys are still on active scene?
Right. So we're currently blocking the road down by the lower lodge, and the reason being is because we want to make sure that we have plenty of fire access for fire crews, investigators, etc. So currently we're not going to allow anybody to come up the canyon. I don't know how long that's going to last, but we would certainly advise not to come up here, at least for the next couple of days, while we get this figured out. You know, we don't, as everybody knows, the road up, it's one way in and one way out. And so if there were a lot of people coming up here to be spectators, that would cause problem for fire crews that are interchanging.
There's a fireplace in the center of the dining room. Do we know by any chance of what kind of fireplace? Was it like burning wood, gas, anything like that you know, used to for the center of the dining room?
I'm going to speculate that it's a wood-burning fireplace based on my experience in the lodge in the past. I've come up here before and had hot chocolate and sat by the fire many times. You know, so I can't tell you if they were using it. You know, seems highly unlikely considering how hot it's been for all of us lately. You know, I mean, we've had record heat in the last week. You know, so I can't say that they weren't using it, but I would call it highly unlikely.
How fortunate are we to make sure that this fire didn't spread onto, you know, forest, other buildings, and also your training? What do you guys do to make sure you train to make sure that it doesn't spread? Like, how fortunate are we to see this?
Well, as I mentioned, as crews began arriving on scene, we immediately set up a defensive posture to protect the surrounding area. So when you declare it fire defensive, that means we're going to defend everything around it, and we're going to sacrifice the structure that's burning. Crews made the immediate decision that there was no way they were going to save any portion of the structure, and therefore they began setting up all their lines, you know, in that defensive posture. Water supply up here is not near as good as it is in Las Vegas. There are only a few hydrants in the area, some of which are, I'm being told, supplied by water tanks. Water supply was never an issue, but we don't necessarily have as much pressure as we do and volume as we do in Las Vegas, so we had to be very smart and tactical about where we placed our defensive lines to make sure we weren't wasting the water that we did have, and that we were putting it in the right position to protect not only the timber but the surrounding structures from radiant heat and also any, you know, embers that were coming down as a result of the fire. You know, so I think they did a fantastic job of preventing, you know, the fire from spreading to not only the timber but the surrounding structures. I'm being told that the lodges, there's approximately, I think, 20 lodges or so that people can come in and stay at. The occupants of those lodges were not evacuated. They were told to shelter in place, which means that firefighters felt they had a pretty good position between the lodge and, you know, the living quarters, which they're not attached. They're detached small cabins in the near vicinity.